In India, we have deep faith in serving the Guru, being in close proximity to him and awaiting his instructions. When Kunju Swami and Ramakrishnan went to Skanda Ashram, they too longed to serve their master. Fortunately, Perumal Swami, Bhagavan's personal attendant at the time, told them to take over his duty as he was going on a pilgrimage. Perumal Swami's duty was to massage Bhagavan's feet and bathe him. Kunju Swami was delighted that his prayers were being answered and resolved that, come what may, to never leave his master and do whatever service his master entrusted him with. He asked Bhagavan, "Why was it that I lost the state of bliss and became unhappy again when I went back to my village? What should I do to get over my confusion and thereby gain clarity?" Bhagavan listened to his questions with a smile and replied, "You have studied the Kavalya Navanitam. One of the verses says that if one inquires into and comes to see the individual self and thus transcends it to its substratum, the eternal self, he becomes the substratum, the self itself. Remaining always as the self, there will be no more births and deaths. How can I know myself?" Kunju Swami asked. "First, recognize who you are." "But how can I recognize who am I?" "See from where thoughts arise," Bhagavan said. "But how is this to be done?" Kunju Swami pressed. "Turn your mind inward and be the heart." Then, with his gracious look fixed on Kunju Swami, Kunju reverted to his natural state of silence. And at that very moment, his agitation and confusion ceased. He experienced a peace and bliss he had never experienced before. Kunju Swami asked again, "But how and why did I lose the experience of bliss when I went back to my village?" Bhagavan quoted again from the Kavalya Navanitam. "The experience of the self as a glimpse can occur in the presence of the Guru, but it may not last. Doubts will rise again and again. In order to clear the doubts, the disciple should continue to study, contemplate, and practice. Studying or listening is shravana. Contemplation is manana. And then practicing it is nidhyasana. Shravana, manana, and nidhyasana should be done until the distinction between the known, the knower, and the knowing no longer rises. There should be no difference, no other at all. After Bhagavan had explained this to him, Kunju Swami decided to stay in his presence and to carry out the practices he prescribed. He found that if any doubt arose in his mind, it was cleared by merely listening to Bhagavan's answers to other questions. So he rarely had to ask a question himself. The day in Skanda Ashram used to begin at 4 in the morning. Bhagavan's mother would get up and sing devotional songs. At 5, Bhagavan would come out and all devotees would sing the Akshara Manalai, Either Samatatha would cook or Echamal would bring food. At 8, everybody would eat. The rest of the time was spent meditating, or reading the Ribu Gita or the Kavalya Navanitam. Bhagavan would remain mostly in silence. Kunju Swami has told me some interesting facts about Bhagavan. According to Kunju, Bhagavan never lay flat or on his side. He always reclined. Bhagavan was also very frugal. Tooth powder was made every day and put into a packet for Bhagavan and given to him in the morning. If Bhagavan found that there was a little more than he needed, he would put it back in the same packet and expect it to be given to him the next day. Kunju Swami said that Bhagavan's frugality continued even while bathing. Bhagavan used to take a little oil, put it in his palm, add hot water to make a paste of it, and then rub it all over his body. Since he could not reach his back, Kunju Swami would oil it for him. At Skanda Ashram, there is a little platform facing Tiruvannamalai township. There was only a stone at that time. Bhagavan would sit on it and brush his teeth. It used to be very cold, and Bhagavan wore only a loincloth. Kunju Swami felt that he should not sit there in the early morning cold, yet Bhagavan continued to do so. He found the reason for this only later. There was a lady called Swabhangyama who used to come to Skanda Ashram every day. She had become old, but had taken a vow that she would not cook, eat, or even bathe without having Bhagavan's darshan first. She did not come one day, and Bhagavan asked her, "Why did you not come yesterday?" And she replied, "Bhagavan, I had the great fortune of having your darshan from my house. When you were seated outside on the stone slab, I could see you." From that day onwards, whether it was raining or cold, Bhagavan sat on that rock so that Swabhangyama could have his daily darshan. Every single day was a holy day at Skanda Ashram. Bhagavan introduced Kunju Swami to the Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni. And Kunju Swami actually witnessed Kavyakanta's Kapala Bida. A hot vapor emanated from Ganapati Muni's head, and he placed Kunju Swami's hand there. And Kunju found it very hot. Ganapati Muni, in order to alleviate the discomfiture caused by this intense heat, took Bhagavan's hand and placed it on his head. This made him feel the coolness, thus relieving him of the pain and discomfort. Later, in reference to this incident, Bhagavan told Kunju Swami, "He has told us about this experience, but who could I have told?" And someone asked, "Bhagavan, did you also have this experience?" Bhagavan just grunted, neither accepting nor denying the fact. Ganapati Muni, known as Kavyakanta or Nayana, described Bhagavan's spiritual status to Kunju Swami as being that of a sahaja nishta. He explained that according to the scriptures, all spiritual seekers eventually grew from either power or peace. Many sages like Mira, Adi Shankara, and Swami Vivekananda developed power, and not able to contain themselves, ecstatically expressed it through their songs and speeches. Bhagavan, on the other hand, was one who was rooted in peace and refused to move even a little from Arunachala. And that is the mark of sahaja nishta, to remain as one is. That is why K.K. Nambiar, an old devotee, called Bhagavan Malaye Mushongi, one who swallowed a mountain.